So it looks like the Wagner leader is not only rebelling against Putin for the killing of 2,000 fighters, but also for lying about the war.
Now at 9, breaking news. Russian tanks are reportedly rolling against their own Russian troops tonight as a Russian commander says he's had enough of the war in Ukraine. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pat Harvey.
And I'm Juan Fernandez. We begin with that breaking news. Stunning and chaotic developments unraveling right now in Russia.
In fact, Russia's largest private army has turned against the man who pays them, Vladimir Putin. They have left the battlefield in Ukraine, we're told, and have started rolling back into Russia, calling for an armed rebellion against Putin's government. KCAL News political reporter Tom Wade is here with these rapidly unfolding developments and something we've never heard of before.
Yeah, I mean, we are following all this. It's really hard to get a sense of what's going on there right now, but we'll see as the hours progress, right? So we are monitoring a lot of video tonight claiming to show the private army moving into Russia. It's called the Wagner Group. It's impossible to verify any of these videos. We are able to verify Russian forces are moving to protect key government buildings, though, in Moscow and other major cities, but so far, no fighting in any of those places.
Even so, it's still going to put a bit of a damper on the Russian invasion, as they'll have to pull back some of their troops in order to protect their cities.
This is the man threatening to take down Russian President Vladimir Putin. His name is Yevgeny Prigozhin, and in this recent video, he is railing against the Russian military for not providing his forces with enough ammunition. Prigozhin leads a private army paid for by Putin called the Wagner Group. Brutal, battle-hardened, Prigozhin often clashing with the leaders of the regular Russian army on how to win the war in Ukraine. Now it appears those tensions have boiled over. Prigozhin is calling for an armed rebellion to oust Russia's defense minister, Sergei Shoigu.
Though if he looks to oust the defense minister, he's going to have to oust Putin, since, Putin's not really going to allow just for the minister to be ousted in a rebellion.
Russia's state-owned television broke into programming overnight after Prigozhin's fiery statements, trying to control the flow of information. Russia also moved military vehicles into key cities along the border with Ukraine and to protect government buildings in Moscow. All of this chaos erupting after Prigozhin accused Russia's military of bombing one of Wagner's camps, killing its soldiers. Russia denies the claim.
Those who destroyed our guys today, along with tens of thousands of lives of Russian soldiers, will be punished. I ask no one to put up any resistance. Justice for the troops will be restored, and then justice for all of Russia.
A potential direct threat to the authority of Putin. Russia has relied heavily on the Wagner mercenaries in its murderous invasion of Ukraine. And while Prigozhin has made the rare move of publicly criticizing the Russian military, he has now gone further than ever, going public with the truth, accusing the Russian Defense Ministry of tricking the country into an unprovoked war back in February of last year. And he says sending 100,000 Russian soldiers to their deaths.
On February 24th, nothing extraordinary happened. But the Ministry of Defense was trying to deceive the public, to deceive the president, and say that there was insane aggression on the part of Ukraine and that they were going to attack us together with NATO. The war was not needed in order to return Russian citizens to our bosom, and not needed in order to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine.
Did he just realize this now, or recently, or did he always know about the war being alive? Because people have been saying this for quite a while now.
Prigozhin says he has 25,000 troops under his command and claims his forces have already marched into one large city in southern Russia near the Ukraine border and have faced no resistance. Russia's federal security services have charged Prigozhin with calling for an armed rebellion. All of this is really, it's crazy to watch.
It is mind-boggling, Tom. Just a little background.
Right.
This Wagner Group has been under Vladimir Putin for many years, or possibly decades, so there's nothing new in that relationship. Exactly. But a little bit more about this army.
Well, that's what's really interesting, though, Pat, because to your point, Prigozhin has been allied with Putin for decades, and this army is comprised of, they've released felons from prison, murderers, criminals who have joined his army and are now, according to him, he's turning them back on back on Russia. So how far will they get? What are they doing? I mean, all this is happening half a world away, so it's hard to verify a lot of what's happening. But I think it's interesting that you're right. This guy Prigozhin has been an ally of Putin's forever. So what is he? He's directing his rage at the defense minister, but the defense minister is of course tied to Putin.
Worked under Putin.
Yeah,
Works under Putin.
What happens next, right?